Hi everyone and welcome to Outdoor Dad 1. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. And today we're going to take a look at an English gun. Cased. My only cased gun actually. But yep, canvas and leather. Probably a pine case underneath. And this gun is from Birmingham. So we open it and have a look what we've got. Why not? Look at this, proper bottles. They knew what they were doing back in the day. I've gone all traditional, got my flat cap on. Because this one is going to be an absolute classic. Nice locked case, airplane transportable. But look at this. There we go. We've got the CG Bonehil box lock made in Birmingham. This is my gun. I'm very happy to say, and I love it. So we better get her out of here really, and we'll have a proper look at her. She's all strapped in. Here we go. So, English guns. I think many years in the making and refined, and anybody who's new to shooting or doesn't know much about English guns, I urge you to find one and have a feel and have a bit of a play, and if you can borrow one and have a shot with one, or if you get a chance to shoot one, these really are some of the finest guns. Absolutely beautiful. This one in particular, I'm going to say, is a best box lock. It's a non-ejector, so which doesn't always denote whether or not it's a best gun, but it's got quite a lot of fine features on this gun. We'll start right at the back, So we've got a horn butt plate, and just look at this. Look how that's carved. All handmade screws, all carved. The work that's gone into them screws. You can see it's worn on there where it's been mounted, and I have to say it's nice and smooth so it doesn't snag. I go out shooting with this gun every season. I make a point of it. So it went up to the Garth, Wales with me this year, and this is my favourite type of wood. A little bit of fiddleback in it, really dark, some real different contrast. This is a nice piece of wood. I had some work done to this gun when I bought it in the early 90s. Not the best work, but still makes it very shootable. Had some checkering done. And one of the things obviously that highlights sort of the quality of this gun. So we've got the nicely engraved, carved butt pad made of horn. I don't know if you can see it there, but it isn't just flat, it's inlaid. Not only is the butt pad inlaid, there's also a bone diamond in the rounded Prince of Wales or rounded grip, Prince of Wales grip. I'm going to call this a Prince of Wales grip, as opposed to a wood grip that's cut off flat. And this is a lovely grip as well. And I don't know if you can see this, but we've got like fleur-de-lis, some absolutely very fine checkering as well, a lot of lines per inch. We've got drop points, we've got church windows, we've got some nice engraving. They've even gone to trouble of engraving under the top lever. We've got a third bite, so extra strength. Obviously a cheaper gun would not have a third bite. So obviously in some of my over and under videos you've heard me talking about recoil shoulders, and basically on a box lock with the mechanism sort of being in the bar here, they felt that it was say weaker than a side lock, and it was weak where it's sort of this angle is here. So I'm not sure if it was greener. There was a lot of people doing a lot of paintings. But basically it's a triple grip So you're in the lump there, you're in the lump there, and then basically the rib comes back and it is latched through on a pin. So I think Greener called it the triple wedge grip. Top bolt, cross bolt, lots of different names for it. But we have got 3 bites holding the barrels to the face of the gun. Now, we've got some lovely carved fences, detonators. We've got Belmont interchangeable hammerless. They were obviously very proud of that. And this really, I think, is when we are getting into, this is early hammerless. This gun is nitro proof, 2.5-inch chambers. It's got a gorgeous set of Damascus barrels, which I have to say, so this gun's probably, what will it be? About 1890. So in 1890, now I do a little thing where I put laser cartridges in and see where my guns converge. So obviously convergence, it's quite a difficult thing to do, and obviously it tells whether or not you've got high quality barrels on your shotgun. I'll put a couple of videos and pictures and a little video in on it. So this is how I check the convergence on barrels. I put a pair of lasers in and then have a look at different ranges. Unbelievable for such an old pair of barrels. Real skill. But basically, this old Damascus gun from Birmingham, the convergence is about 25 yards and it is laser straight. How on earth they did it with a Damascus gun back then? But I suppose they made a lot of them and it was their passion and they had to be right. BONEHILL had a military contract because basically it was found obviously in the Civil War in America that it's alright having like 50 different arms manufacturers all giving arms to different soldiers, and someone's got a Colt and someone's got a Winchester and someone's got a Whitworth someone's got a Savage, whatever. And interchangeable parts, when you're trying to keep an army kept in parts with working weapons to defend themselves, defend the country, is quite important. So interchangeability, and this apparently was the start of it. I think they may even have been contracted to Winchester, the Birmingham Belmont BONEHILL, for constructing interchangeable parts for the American market. I think it says in the label, actually, we'll have a look later, machine-made parts. Interchangeability is obviously a huge thing, basically, in the development of the modern world. The ability to be able to just fit something, particularly in World War II, and since then, you know, you imagine that you order a part and it won't fit where you want to fit it, and you have to take it to someone and they have to hand fit it, and it takes time and it can't always be done out in the field. Interchangeability is a very big thing. So so I don't know if you can see this, but we've got safe in gold. Something else that perhaps denotes that this is a more high grade box lot. So we've got gold there. We've got this lovely, absolutely sleek as you like, and it's got some lovely cross action on it. You've gone to the trouble, the screw's engraved under the top lever, there's engraving under the top lever. You only see it went top when you push top lever across. But they've done it, you know, as in comparison to say my AYA that I did the video on. This really is, the fineness of the engraving is absolutely stunning, really. And this isn't the best. There will have been better, but for a Birmingham box lock, this is quite a nice piece of work. And then we get on. We've got a lovely little red strap here to help us get the barrels out. Thought of everything, these people. Now then, these barrels, 30-inch Damascus barrels, browned, and we've got a raised file cut rib on this very early gun. I love this gun. The way it comes up, the stock length is modern. It's 14.5-inch stock. There weren't many 14.5-inch stock guns when this was made. We were all a lot shorter and a lot fatter in England. And it's got a nice amount of cast on it. The grip is absolutely lovely with the fine checkering. Really nice. Really elegant and really refined. And these barrels, by Jove, there's some weight in these barrels. Like I say, Damascus. On the barrels we've got CG Bonehil maker, finest Damascus. So this will have been their finest Damascus barrels. We've got painting May the 31st, 1884, clip lump barrels. So this is part of the interchangeable system. I think that they run in or I think they will have been all hand regulated and hand fitted. But we've got this small latch here, which will have been machined precisely, I think, which gave them some amount of interchangeability. And they obviously went to the effort of patenting it, so they had the rights of it, or if anybody wanted to use it, they had to pay them. Clip lump barrels, so just an interesting little thing. And there's lots of these really interesting English little patents, and I mean, obviously we're going into it today, but I mean, we could lose ourselves for hours and hours and hours, probably just on the patents on this gun. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous Damascus barrels. We're going to have a quick look at this forend. So this forend. So we've got nice forend iron, nice wood to metal fit, really well embellished, nice engraving, sort of very fine scroll. We've got like this extra, I don't know what you call it really, just extra carving on the wood. There's no need for it to be. There's no reason for that to be there at all. They're just doing it to show you that they can do it. We've got another fleur-de-lis. We've got the dealy edge style locking forend. So pop that off there. Now then, if you look at the top of this forend, there is an absolutely gorgeous piece of bone carved, and it's inlaid into this forend, and it is done absolutely exquisitely. I don't know if you can see this on this side, and you can sort of see where they've inlaid it. Incredible, absolutely lovely. So dealy edge, quite a modern. This is, like I say, this is probably 1890. You've got a forend latch here that you've got on all of your modern over and unders, or a lot of them anyway. And the other one is the Anson push rod, another Birmingham designer, patentee. So we've got dealy forend latch. This is obviously on an Anson and Dealey action. Birmingham trade, Birmingham workers, Birmingham absolutely massive industrial might, and this was in its heyday. And somebody obviously took the time to order themselves a box lock non-ejector with 30-inch Damascus finest barrels, obviously with some nice engraving on it, cased. So this would not have been a cheap thing at all. We've got the maker's label, and it says sole inventor and patentee of the Belmont interchangeable barrels, and they manufactured and were commissioned by the War Department, which would obviously have been a very important contract, and the War Department would have very rigorous tests, and they wouldn't just let anybody make their parts for them and their guns. Yeah, and we've got a lovely label. So lucky to have the case with this gun, really. But yes, and here we have this rather large, wide, file cut, slightly raised rib. That is one of the reasons I really like this gun. And I do use this gun and will keep using it. I like to use them all. But we'll get rid of this case and we'll get a clip together. So here we have his disc set strikers. Just another small refinement that they've gone to on this particular gun that they didn't need to do. Nicely made. So here she is together, and what a grand thing she is. Yeah, very proud of this little thing. I was only young when I bought it, and I saw it and I thought, it's different, right? That's quite nice. You could just sort of see when it was in the rack that it was just a little bit finer, a little bit nicer than a lot of the other box lock non-ejectors. Of course, it was for pennies. Not quite, but this wasn't expensive when I bought it. But it is absolutely gorgeous, and I've said this before, if you were to have something like this now, even though it's a non-ejector, you would be talking a lot of money, and the refinement is really there. I urge anybody to go and have a bash with one. It's got disc set strikers as well, but we've got this lovely one. We've got a nice gold shield there that I've had engraved because I won't be getting rid of this one. But she is an absolute cracker. And we've got a little bit of cast, nice high, ever such a delicate comb. But it's high enough, and I've got the rib, so when I mount the gun, I don't lose the rib, I don't lose the bead, I'm not looking into the back of the action. It's quite a modernish feeling side by side. And I think these are important things to look for. If you get a sunken rib on a side by side, the side picture is, what's the word? Not ideal. Whereas this gun with this rib, 30-inch barrels, bit of a rarity, possibly a throwback or a hang-up back from black powder days, and this is very early, nitro proof. But yeah, 30-inch Damascus barrels. There was not lots of nitro proof long, because they didn't need the length in the barrels because the powder didn't take as long to burn. So we've got these gorgeous brown Damascus. I'll put some photos in and you can see the twist in the Damascus. Absolutely amazing. Amazing set of skills needed, to make Damascus barrels that obviously don't blow apart. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, and interestingly, I like my guns to balance on the hinge pin. This one doesn't. because there is so much meat in these barrels. How does it feel? Feels nice. Can't really describe it. Normally a gun that had sort of this much weight in front of the hinge, it'd feel a bit odd really, and a bit not as nice as. But this, I don't know if it's just because it's got a decent length of stock. It feels absolutely lovely. I love walking around with this. Yeah, it's a grand thing. And these English box locks, like I say, they're not a lot of money. Yeah, and if you get the chance of feeling one, I think you should give it a go. What can we say? Trigger pulls. Let's have a quick check. £6 trigger pulls. The gun weighs £7. I think this is like the heaviest side by side I've ever had. To be honest, there's not many side by sides or English side by sides. Once you start going over £6.5, that's not where people wanted them. That wasn't like the style of the day. So I mean, other than live pigeon guns, and I don't think this is, because I think maybe it'd have been even longer chambered. But obviously they have a triple bite normally and a large file cut rib. But I don't think this is a pigeon gun. But this is a very nice thing. And ejectors, no one was bothered about ejectors, and I'm still not. I know in America and other places where you're doing walked up shooting, ejectors are just a pain in the neck. They just flirt stuff out, flirt your empties out, and then you have to bend down and pick them up. So yeah, it's hardly a detraction. But no, very refined. Yeah, it's a lovely old thing. Yeah, looking on the floor paint of the action, we've got some nice little bouquet of roses right in the middle, lovely engraved screw heads, lovely engraved trigger tang extending down into this Prince of Wales grip. The safety catch it's very grippy, really well, but I prefer something with a little bit more of a hump, but this one works absolutely grand. And the trigger pulls are very crisp. And yeah, there you go. This is my English box lock from Birmingham. Yeah, I think they're more appreciated in basically every other country than England. And they're a grand thing. And if you get a chance to go and have a shot with one, get yourself out and do it. And don't forget to like and subscribe, Outdoor Dad 1. And we'll fetch you something a bit more modern next time, and there will be some, perhaps we'll do a hammer gun and a side lock. But yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll join you next time. See you around.